What if the reason you're torn between motherhood and entrepreneurship is because you've been taught to believe that they're two separate identities? They're not. You are one whole person, just carrying the weight of the different roles, doable with the right tools and the right mindset. Your maternal instincts are not in the way of you doing business. They are not the obstacle in the way of your success. They're the operating system. Instead of trying to be less mom like and more business like a man, use your maternal wiring as your greatest entrepreneurial edge. This is my love letter to moms who are juggling career and kids, ambition and childhood, business and babies. If you've ever needed a pep talk to remind yourself that you can do this, this one's for you. Let's talk how to use your maternal instincts in business. Maternal instinct, reading the signs. You can hear the difference between a real need and a whine. You know when something's off. You anticipate things before they explode, and you're prepared to be available at any minute of the day. That is high-level strategic intelligence. Applied in business, you can read client energy. You can sense when the price isn't right. You know when the opportunity isn't aligned, and you can feel when burnout's coming before it hits. I love using this instinct when I'm transitioning from entrepreneur to mom. I know they're going to need me after a long day of being away from home. Like, let's say they were at school. So instead of resist it, I give into it. I prepare for them to bombard me with questions, want cuddles, want my time and attention, my eyes on them, and I come to enjoy it. I leave a buffer between the two roles, like a transition period. I add in space and I breathe and I even visualize them doing all the things they could possibly do and me approaching them with ease and calm and connection. I see it happening. And then I lead with curiosity and I trust my gut. Like the other day, my kids were working at their desk and I was finishing up an edit and I had one ear to my script and one ear to them. And I didn't even flinch when one started to fight with the other or started to complain about something or ask for something, ask for a snack. I was prepared for all of that. So then it just became kind of this dance where I would edit and then listen and be of service, get back to editing. And it just was this flow. And this is if I'm not sitting right beside them working while they're working, and maybe I'm in a different room or at my desk, then I might have to get up and go see what's going on, observe and just look on, that kind of thing. But I probably, that this particular day, I got up 14 times, I would say, in the span of an hour as I was trying to finish up my edit. And that would not have been easy on me if I wasn't clear about my objective, my priorities, and if I didn't have my focus. It would have been chaos. But instead, it felt light and easy, and I went with the flow. But most of the time, I'm usually sitting next to them, and it's kind of our quiet activity time where mommy's working and you are too. Because I do deep work. Content creation, scripting, writing, journaling, researching, deep diving, writing scripts, writing emails, writing blogs, editing for impact, coaching, creating curriculum, developing courses, giving of my insight. That's deep work. And as long as I stay connected to my work, because I love what I do and it's part of who I am, then I can easily, seamlessly, effortlessly weave it into my life, somewhere into the day. I even have a hands-free way of jotting notes down when I'm on the go, and I stay organized with all my ideas on being a mom and being a business owner. So that's huge. Staying organized is half the battle, and it'll help you stay sane. And sanity is the baby of clarity. When you stay alert and you read the signs and keep a finger on the pulse of your family, you'll always be prepared. Maternal instinct, vision. We moms think in seconds, in that every moment counts, but we plan in years. We're already 10 steps ahead. We constantly think about who our child will become. We plant seeds knowing that they won't bloom tomorrow, but they will bloom. And we understand the need for repair now so that we can protect future generations. And then on the other hand, as entrepreneurs, those who play the long game win. You get to choose sustainability and longevity over the hamster wheel of hustle. Companies like Patagonia, Amazon, PayPal had vision. Patagonia because they built long-term trust and values over speed. Amazon leaned into the fact that people will always pay for convenience. And PayPal saw a bright future for online commerce. Their customers trust them. And when they trust you, you have them for life. So how does motherhood train us to rethink and redo business? Well, we think relationships over transactions, consistency over intensity, alignment over hype. And something I'm really big on helping you harness is thinking clarity over effort. Maternal instinct, setting boundaries. A good mother gatekeeps and guards their environment, answers why mommy with matched curiosity, and protects rest and sleep. Imagine that. That helicopter parent inside of you will help you in business because it keeps you streamlined and structured. And you know the load is heavy as a mom, doing all the protecting and providing and whatnot, that you need everything else to be on a schedule, in a system, and as simple to do as possible. You have boundaries to protect your energy, to protect your creativity, and to protect the quality of your time. So you know when to say no. Think of what that does for your family culture, the tone of the home, because you are that. You already hold fast to your boundaries with a tantruming toddler over having more candy. Use that same kind firmness with client fulfillment, the demands of social media, the effectiveness of your team, and what gets your attention. Yet in business, moms can become people pleasers. Not all people merit you interfering or disrupting or compromising your maternal instincts. Maternal instinct, creating rhythm. Kids thrive on rhythm, not military rigidity. And so do creative businesses. There are always cycles and seasons and energy to consider. So yes, design your business around nap time instead of resisting it and resenting it. Like for me, I've been thinking about homeschooling my kids for a while now, and I'm finally at the point in my life where we're transitioning to make that a reality because I know it's right for us. I don't resent it. I welcome it and embrace the opportunity. I have a couple other things happening in my life that make the timing of this transition really perfect. So I'm grateful for that. So no, I didn't just jump right into this. I first worked on my mindset around it, my calendar, my expectations, and I made the room in my life to homeschool. It took me time to wrap my mind around it, to be open-minded, and to gather the information and the confirmation that I needed to know that this was the only next step. I needed the time to accept and allow and adjust to how much things are going to change when my kids are home 24/7 again. And it's giving me confidence to walk away from the schools that they're in now, as touted and renowned as they are. I don't feel they measure up to what my kids deserve. And that's not even everything that's changing for me, y'all. There's a lot, but that's another video. So all this time as I'm gathering my evidence, I've been working on cultivating a workflow when they're home sick. Now I feel ready to shift even more when they're homeschooled. Maybe that's why they say when you want something done right, you got to do it yourself, because mothering be like that. I am actively scaling my business around my kids and my life as a mom, not the other way around. So my advice is to lean into that adaptability as a mother, as an entrepreneur. That's why you have your own business, right? Maternal instinct, model, don't manage. Kids don't do what you say, they do what you do. Same with your audience and clients. They're watching you. If you're burning out, overworking, wallowing in self-doubt and guilt, so are they. If you make time to rest and find your focus and follow your bliss, so will they. And when it comes to me homeschooling, I know they're going to be watching me even more so. And I know in the beginning it's going to be a time and energy drain, but I will learn the ways to make it less so. I've done it time and time again with my kids, and my oldest is only 5. And life gets easier every single day. And I want their lives to get easier every single day. Learn to regulate better every single day. And live a happy life every single day. Or at least come back to happy every single day. You're literally witnessing on this channel my journey from entrepreneur to mom, and then mompreneur to homeschool mompreneur. You'll definitely see my before and after of my homeschool journey. And before I take this on, I have to confess that I have some concerns around homeschooling because I do deep work. So I'm nervous about finding the regular downtime to rest and unplug, and find the privacy and the space to do the work that I can't be interrupted on. However, I know that, like Parkinson's law says, I will fit in what matters most in the time I have. I'll get even simpler in my day, in my expectations of myself and my kids, in my workload, because that's how I've always done it and it always works for me. I already see the ebb and flow of seasons and cycles and whatnot in my journey here on YouTube. Right now I'm in a season of less script, more riff. And so that means I can spend less time filming. And that's good because it's intel for when I do homeschool. I can see where I can fit in this kind of riff type of a video, because now I have that timeline to reference. And eventually I'll be able to merge that with the flow of working with my kids. And my little cheat here is that I always have a running list of ideas for YouTube topics, and I'll figure out next week's video on a Saturday or a Sunday when I'm just going about my day, just lightly and easily. And it usually hits me as a topic my audience needs to hear now, and that I'm interested in filming now. And on the weekends, when things are a little bit lighter, the juggling is less heavy, I can weave it into my regular mom life. And because I film on Wednesdays, I have time to let more ideas, more clarity, more content on that topic kind of download in my brain. So I'm actually excited about how I'm learning to be a better entrepreneur as a mom. I'm happy that my kids are watching me be an entrepreneur as a mom. They're watching me run a business and a household. Shoot, I'm practically about to run a school. So whoever out there is doing this with me, give me a shout out in the comments, because we are doing this together alongside our kids. And I am so jazzed about that. I am so sure about this next chapter in my life. So I know when I'm following my maternal instincts, it feels like that. Clarity, trust, knowing. It feels like I know what it takes and I have what it takes. I'm basically saying I don't care what it takes. I'm going to rise to the challenge. I'm betting on myself and I trust myself in both motherhood and business. And that makes me feel unstoppable. So go out there, be a great mom and a great entrepreneur. Do both. Be unstoppable. Trust yourself. Know that you have all the tools you need right here, right where you sit, to make this work. And if you're craving a community of like-minded fellow mompreneurs at your side as you do this, and they're doing it too, then join us in the Mastermind for Entrepreneur Moms. Links in the description below. Until the next one. Peace.